Morning, Luckies! It's week 6, and it's time for the Lucky Channel once again for the Mac and Jack Robot Roundup. And I'm joined as ever by Jack Finney. And of course, I'm Makon.
Of course, we were going to be opening with that again. I
yes,
mean, you can expect
we
this pretty
reused it.
Every time that you see Lucky on this channel, everybody, you're going to be hearing that intro.
Look, I am very proud of this intro. I like the animation I did. I got it pretty much perfectly. So I am reusing it. Damn it.
You do you. I mean,
I'm I can do whatever I want. I can put a mustache on. I don't know. Something on his screen. Look, I don't know.
Fair enough. I mean, it saves me from having to make up an intro for you this week. I was going to do something like the man who's forgotten more about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure than anybody else will ever know.
But I mean that's not even me. That's Araki. He is the one who forgets.
No, I mean it's like, as in you know so much about it that what you've forgotten is more than the average person will ever know.
No, but the guy who literally writes it is known for forgetting things. So, like, that's the meme anyway.
Oh, so he's like Akira Toriyama.
Yes, basically. But, like, it's more of a meme than anything. Although, like, it's just early and it's a bit, yeah.
Well, fair
You'll get
enough.
there eventually.
Okay. I mean, I am waiting for, like, what was it, Stone Ocean Part 2?
Yeah, I need to find out when that happens, like, when that's continuing.
I am very hyped for when that arrives, by the way.
Yes.
Jolene immediately made her way into my heart.
Yes.
And my waifu list.
Yes,
so.
and she would have entered far sooner if you just read the manga like I asked you to.
Yeah, but we're not going to be doing that.
Wow. I mean, you will when you finish and you need to get onto Steel Ball Run.
Eventually, I will get to it, but,
Good.
you know, I've got so many other things. I had to read all of Berserk, for example.
Yes, and you've done... Have you done that yet? Have you finished yet?
Oh, yeah. I finished ages ago.
Oh, okay, good. Just making sure.
Because it was so good.
Nice.
But we're getting off topic, very far off topic, and we're not even 5 minutes in.
Yes, and the topic is, of course, that every second episode we seem to have like an intro with actual music in it. We have an actual intro thing. Maybe will that continue? Probably. I don't know. It very much depends on how we feel.
Find out on the next exciting episode. Well, actually, after the next exciting episode, because every 2 episodes...
Do we have exciting episodes? That's the question.
Well, I mean, I'm finding this quite exciting.
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
Okay, so we can finally move on to the actual first fight of the week. Rotator versus Black Dragon. And oh boy, what a way to start the episode.
Brilliant beginning.
Absolutely fantastic opening fight here. Now, Rotator and Black Dragon, both of them have excellent pedigrees. Rotator has had a history of bad luck, like Victor Soto said. He's never managed to go 2-0 in the competition before, at least until this fight. And Black Dragon always does very, very well. Black Dragon's never been knocked out, for example, from what I can remember. Mac, you actually looked it up during the episode.
Yes, yeah, like he has never been knocked out. Like every loss has been a judge's decision.
And even then, the judges' decisions have those have generally come only in the actual tournament stage. Other than that, Black Dragon has largely progressed through most seasons that it's been in, mostly undefeated until the actual top 32.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
And yeah, this was the day that changed, as boom, Rotator coming out of the gates and just finally managing to notch up the 2-0 record for themselves in what was an incredible back and forth fight. It was I'm struggling to find the words to describe how good this fight was, man.
Gee, if you wrote notes.
Yeah, full disclosure, everybody. This week I was having serious issue writing my notes, and I didn't actually make any notes during the episode itself.
He did not have a pen.
Yes,
I
basically.
I don't know why I'm throwing you under the bus like this. I have no reason to.
Okay, full disclosure, I do remember everything that went down in the episode, so it's not like I really even need my notes this week. It's just a matter of finding the right words, and I'm just at a loss for which ones to use because, like I said, this fight was so fucking good.
It was like it was back and forth for a good while until Black Dragon's weapon like died. But then even then, like it, Black Dragon didn't like they didn't give up.
It didn't roll over.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's like, as I can recall, Black Dragon came into this fight with a specific anti-rotator plow. Rotator coming in with its special ground scraping forks as well, which are lower than low because they got straight under Black Dragon's special plow attachment as well. It
Yeah.
did not do anything to Rotator. They were able to get like under the sides at certain points. And now and then, if they came at it at just the right angle and speed, they were able to get under those forks. But for the most part, Rotator absolutely dominated the ground game in this fight. It was magical to watch, frankly, because Black Dragon is such a well-driven machine. It's so brilliantly engineered, and Rotator managing to outdo it in that regard was fantastic.
Oh hell yes. Great, brilliant driving from both sides though. Like.
Oh, absolutely, but especially from Victor Soto, who has at this point he's managed to perfect what can only be described as the tail whip type of attack, where he slips underneath using the ground scraping forks, and then manages to turn on a dime and bring his weapon into play while they're still crashing back to the floor. And it's absolutely fantastic the way that he hooks in underneath them and just rips them limb from limb using that. And it was used to great effect against Black Dragon here as well on the occasions that it was able to hit.
Yeah, especially like right at the end.
Yes. Now, that being said, Black Dragon, like you said earlier, did not just roll over and die. Even as its weapon broke after a while, it was still managing to dish out some big hits on Rotator when it was able to get in underneath the side.
Yeah.
And was managing to kick up from underneath, dealt a lot of damage. Rotator didn't lose drive or anything like that, but you could tell that if Black Dragon's weapon hadn't broke, maybe they would have been able to squeak out a victory in this one. But the fact of the matter is, Rotator did such a good job against Black Dragon, and like was said before, Black Dragon has pretty much never been knocked out. It has never been KO'd. It has only ever lost by decision. You can see at the end of the fight, as the fog of war is billowing everywhere from the smoke pouring out of the weapon and everything, you can actually see Black Dragon in the dying seconds of the fight finally start to slow to a crawl and essentially break down right as the buzzer was sounding.
Yeah, like literally the last 3 seconds it died, and that was fucking wild.
Yeah, and that is just an absolute testament to how well Victor Soto has prepared Rotator for this season. Like I've kind of dogged Rotator a little bit in the past, mainly for how Victor Soto reacted to losing the judge's decision to beat him, things like that. But I've always liked Rotator as a concept, and I've always hoped that it does well. And just seeing such a fantastic opening fight in this one, it was everything that you could have asked for from a BattleBots opener.
Yeah, a very earned victory, and
yes.
And Black Dragon has nothing to be ashamed of with that loss, because they look really strong.
Oh, absolutely. It's just that Rotator in this case was just kind of the perfect storm for who to face for them to face.
They were
finally,
prepared.
Yes. But yeah, fantastic fight. Very, very worthy victory for Rotator. Black Dragon, nothing to be ashamed of. Both of these robots, let's face it, they're going to make it into the round of 16, and very deservedly as well.
Absolutely.
And I would love to see a rematch between these two at some point in the future as well.
That'd be interesting.
Can you imagine if they met again during the round of 16? That would be intense.
It's always possible.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so fantastic driving. Just great destruction from each, great tactical battle as well, and just so much drama. Mac, what would you score this one?
I would give that an 8.5. That was a beautiful starter.
Yeah, 8.5. It's closer to a 9 than anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, fantastic opening bout, and it was everything that we could have wanted. With
Yes.
that, we move on to our namesake for the episode, Lucky, going
Yeah.
up against Orby Blade.
Oh man, what a fight this was. What a beautiful squash match this was.
Ah, now, something we didn't really address with Blade in the previous appearance that they made is that Blade is essentially everything that people have been saying Tombstone should become. Like, people are always saying that Tombstone needs wheel guards, Tombstone needs a wedge at the back, and so on and so forth. Blade has all of those things and doesn't perform as well as Tombstone, or at least as we've seen so far. And in this one, oh, it did not end well for them.
Yeah,
But
like
that being said, what a moment that we got out of this. We had Lucky entering the fight wearing the classic fuck off spinner killer plow.
yes
Like
indeed.
as I believe they're wearing over in Paris at the moment.
Yes, if you go to the Louvre, like you can see everyone's wearing it.
Come on, I mean you see them walking up and down the catwalk with plows all the time, don't
Yeah,
you?
yeah, exactly. I mean,
But yeah, wearing
maybe
the
in Alaska.
but wearing the classic fixed spinner killer plow, operating with rather than the arm configuration, what is more of a puncher configuration than anything else. It makes sense because they wouldn't want the tip of the arm to get snagged on Blade's weapon and get potentially torn off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Lucky coming out of the gate, choosing to engage in the box rush strategy as is classic, of course, and it worked out very well for them because within the first few hits. Now, to be fair,
Not
Blade
even
did
first
manage
few,
to,
like very first.
yeah. Well, this is the thing. Blade, you see, even with what's to come, you could tell Lucky did essentially luck out a bit in this with Blade's weapon essentially snapping in two and leaving them incredibly unbalanced.
Yeah.
Because that one big hit, even if the bar did break as a result of it, that was a monster of a hit that Blade did manage to land on Lucky there.
Yeah, it did beautiful damage. It cut a beautiful hole right into Lucky's armor.
Yeah. If that blade hadn't broken, then it would have been a long night for Lucky. But what happens? Half of the blade snaps off and embeds itself in the fucking battle box.
It wasn't a fist, but it was a blade. We got another wedging.
And it's like, oh, when you see after the fight when Kenny Florian is holding it for scale as well.
God, yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Like that looked fucking crazy.
Yeah. Just absolutely gnarly. But yeah, with that, Blade essentially starts shaking itself to death because there's no way that it can stabilize with half a weapon there. Yeah. And Lucky manages to get in underneath it and just flip it a bunch of times and ultimately strand it with a perfectly placed flip that lands it on the edges of the box with its wheels in the air. That was fantastic. It was like it's just like potting the hole in one.
Exactly.
In
Yeah.
golf.
Like,
something I know that you're quite the fan of, Mac, especially in Yakuza.
Yours. Yep. That was absolutely beautiful. Like that was a masterful victory there.
Like, yeah, Lucky is one of the big comeback stories this season. Like, it didn't manage to win against Tantrum, but it managed to give it a very good fight. And of course, here it manages to defeat Blade, who was one of the more hyped competitors coming in as well.
Exactly. Like, I mean, it's easy to say, oh, maybe if it didn't break your weapon, then who knows what happened. But fuck, Lucky just. I think even if the weapon survived, if Lucky got in the right position, we still would have had the same outcome. Or at least could have, anyway. Because Lucky is really good. A really good flipper.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, Lucky, fantastic showing so far. I'm hoping that it does really well this year because it's a brilliant tactical machine, and it's always a pleasure to watch.
Same. I want to keep doing our intro.
I do feel bad for Blade, though. They have had absolutely rotten luck this season for their debut.
Is there a reverse of beginner's luck? Because that's what they're having.
I mean, you never know. They could. This is the thing. They're not even.
Yeah,
It's not so
even.
much that they're beginners because they are a veteran team.
Yeah,
Just
true.
not in the
I mean,
US.
like, I guess. Oh god, what's a good equivalent? I guess it's like a like a D-list movie star, like getting a bigger role and like just sort of blowing it.
Hmm.
I guess I'm trying to think. I can't really come up with like a good example. Actually, no, wait, no,
Well,
yeah, wait, even better. Like, it's like Scott Steiner going to WWE.
that's a good analogy, actually. Well, you never know. With any luck, they'll work out the Gremlins and be much stronger contenders next time if they do decide to come back, which I hope they do because I
Oh,
like the team.
yeah, like there's a lot of visible potential with Blade.
Mm,
Like I hope they figure it out.
absolutely.
Yeah, I gave that fight a 10 out of 10 in terms of squash matches. Because that was amazing.
Yeah, I gave it a 7 out of 10. I'd say it was very entertaining
Yes,
for what it
I was
was,
sports
but
entertained.
it was still a short and not especially competitive match.
Yeah.
With that, we come to the big dramatic moment of the night as we saw the big video package for the Minotaur team, specifically Daniel Freitas, where he addressed what befell him in 2021 with
Yeah.
the unfortunate passing of both his mother and his grandmother due to COVID-19.
That was heartbreaking.
Now, it absolutely was heartbreaking hearing him talk about it and seeing how visibly affected he was by it and how important his mother was to him in regards to combat robotics because she'd always encouraged him to be involved in it as well. And just seeing the way that this was put together, it actually broke my heart. I was legitimately in tears watching it.
Hmm. Yeah,
Like
like
they really spotlighted how important robot combat is to Daniel Freitas as well, with talking about his it being his second family as well,
hmm.
and how he went above and beyond to be able to come back for this when when all of this happened so shortly after his mother and grandmother's passing as well.
Yeah. Like it was a big gut punch, but like then we get to the fight and it's Minotaur. Minotaur is a
Just
great goddamn robot.
brutalizing Minotaur, just brutalizing Dragon Slayer.
Oh yeah, like it.
Like no wasted movement, just big hit after big hit, and showing why Minotaur is never to be fucked with. Because
Yeah,
Minotaur, after what happened when it fought Swordblaze, some people were questioning it a little bit. But this is what we see right here. Minotaur is never to be messed with.
yeah, Minotaur is legit.
Yeah,
There's a
like
reason why pretty much everyone loves it.
yeah, everybody loves Minotaur as they should, and Minotaur is always a threat for the giant nut. And the way that they framed that video, and with all of the post fight stuff involving the emotional side of things, I can't help but feel like Minotaur could be a very strong contender this year, and they might be highlighting that.
It could, yeah,
Who
that's a
knows?
possibility.
Minotaur could very well go on to win the whole thing.
I would like that. I would like that a lot.
Yeah, I enjoyed the fight, but yeah, it was basically just an extended ass kicking, so it was another 7 out of 10 in my opinion.
I did not give it a rating because too emotional for a rating.
Yeah, it. I have to say this was just such a wholesome episode as a whole.
Oh hell yes.
Just absolutely right in the feels throughout the entire episode, as we will talk about later on. But for now, we can move on to Pain Train versus Yeti.
Ah
And
yes.
oh boy,
The Yeti.
when we the Yeti, the Yeti.
Man.
Oh man, I assume you'll be editing that probably later anyway.
Probably yeah. Like well, I've tucked something in there somewhere.
All right, okay. Now we want to talk about extended ass kickings. This is the extended ass kicking to end all extended ass kickings because oh boy, what Yeti did to Pain Train in this fight is not unlike what Sawblaze did to Mad Catter.
Yeah, like it was brutal.
It's like basically, you remember when you see the Yeti come out and deliver that devastating bear hug?
Yes.
We got that in this one, except, the offense didn't look awful. We saw Yeti literally rip Pain Train apart, just tear it open and gut it.
It ripped its ass wide open, and it puppeteered it like a puppet.
Oh god. But yeah, like ripped it open and tore out its innards. It was awesome to watch, to be honest.
Yeah,
Because
hell yeah.
Yeti hasn't performed that well in recent years, but this was another indication of why you don't fuck with the machine.
Yeah. Oh, yes, yes. I mean, yeah. Pain Train, still a robot.
Yeah.
That's the best I
Now,
can say about it.
now that being said, as much of an extended ass kicking as this fight was, Pain Train did manage to keep it at least somewhat competitive for a while.
Oh,
So hats off to them for that. And Pain Train, you can see the potential is there, and I do think that over time they will start to do better and better in future seasons.
yeah.
They just haven't really been able to get it going yet, but give it some time, and I think it'll do quite well.
Yeah. Because the driver's like, he had like a big showing in the beetle weight soda circuit, right?
Oh yeah, he's an absolute legend in that side of things.
Hmm.
Like Hall of Fame caliber competitor, from what I remember.
Very nice. I mean, I hope he gets like I hope he gets his bearings with the heavier robots, because I like his style.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we have a score for that one, other than ass kicking out of 10?
Yeah, like I gave that an 8 out of 10. I believe you gave it a
Yep.
7.5.
Yeah, 7.5 from me on this one. Now we come to the big controversy of the night: Hijinks
Ooh.
versus Kraken.
Is it
Now-
is it a controversy?
Well, there is some controversy here
Oh?
because, like, some people don't agree with the decision.
Wait,
I can
really?
understand the decision, even if I don't necessarily 100% agree with it.
I mean, I agree.
But-
I agree with the decision. Like,
I can go
I
either way
completely
on
agree.
that. I mean,
Yep.
it all depends. But anyway, yeah, Kraken coming into this one in a bit of a handicapped state because, like they said, their horizontal spinner body was basically destroyed by Rotator when they fought earlier in the season.
Yeah.
And so they had to come into this one with their vertical setup, and that automatically put them at a bit of a disadvantage against Hijinks, who, as we saw, has the huge horizontal helicopter blade. And now I will say I absolutely love how Hijinks looks.
Oh, yes.
And just everything about Hijinks. There was something you wanted to do here, wasn't there? You wanted to do what bar is it?
Yeah, yes. I mean, you have to set up the intro properly. Like, you have to say the line.
I mean, Mac, you're the big OSW guy, so you can.
I mean, you because I actually have the bars.
Okay, right, Mac. Taking a look at the incredible paint job on Hijinks, what bar is it?
Well, good. Well, Jack, Hijinks is, and I'm gonna send this to you. Well, these to you. Cause I actually have 3 of them. Okay, so Hijinks is a fizzer sour strawberry. Hijinks is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you like that?
I remember these a little
Wait,
bit.
you have them over there?
I remember something very similar to this.
Okay.
So it looks like a chew. Is it a type of chew?
Yeah, more or less. It's like a if I remember right, it's like sort of a stick.
Yes, a stick, a chew with a fizzy center. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, like I mean, I never had them. I'm not like, ironically for this bit, I'm not a candy person.
Okay, so I don't know if it's that one specifically, but we have some stuff that is very similar to that.
Okay, very nice. Hijinks is also a Wall Twister Peekaboo. We do not have. I don't think we have that over here, but yeah.
I was not familiar with that particular variant on the Twister.
I think we did. I think we had like tristies in general over here done by streets, but like, I don't remember this one at all.
Oh man, I wish I had seen those at some point because that looks like it would be absolutely amazing, and I used to love twisters.
Oh, okay, I mean, like, it looks tasty, and of course, hijinks is a pile of sour worms.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty accurate. And
Yep.
of course, we have my own personal pick
Oh.
for what we have my own personal pick. Hijinks is a Wonka Scrumdiddlyumptious bar.
Ah, yes.
Now, I hope I don't need to explain what that looks like. Mackie will, of course, be posting it.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you want to send me an image, just like to double, just to fact check, but yeah.
Really, it's just like a mix of all the various different Wonka bars.
Ah, okay. Yeah, well, there, yeah, there. Oh.
Let's see
Ah, okay,
there.
yep, that works. And there we go. There's our
Yeah.
hot bar.
Yep, our what bar for the week. Now, returning to the actual fight, it was actually a very competitive fight as well. Hijinks managing to dish out a lot of big hits on Kraken, but Kraken, constantly staying aggressive, trying to maintain control. Hijinks also very aggressive as well, it must be said. Kraken constantly trying to bite down. Unfortunately for them, Hijinks at one point ended up inverted, and that was very bad news for Kraken because Kraken's entire design is very, very much lends itself to getting in underneath an opponent that has a spinning weapon and using the wedge to kill that and biting down on the top of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, now, as a result of this, anytime Kraken attempted to bite down on Hijinks, it was taking an impromptu trip to the dentist.
Yes. And eventually they lost a tooth.
Yes. And, yeah,
But
this
until
ultimately
before
did not
that.
end well for Kraken
Yeah,
as a result.
But before that happened, Kraken did a great job, like, staying in it. Because they nearly...
Oh, yeah.
They got Hijinks up on the shelf, like, at one point.
Yes, that was an incredibly well-driven moment from them. Unfortunately for them, Hijinks managed to shake themselves back off, came back strong, and ultimately finished the fight as the winner. Now, it was a close judge's decision. I believe Hijinks only won by 1 or 2 points across the various judges.
I think so. I'll put the image of, like, the thing up here, but yeah, like, I believe it's that. If we're wrong,
Yeah,
then
it's like,
just tell us.
But yeah, it's like, as a rule, Hijinks ended up getting a much higher damage score, aside from with one judge. Both 2 judges scored it 4-1 to Hijinks in the damage category. One of them, I think it was Lisa, scored it as 3-2.
Yep.
But yeah, and of course we know damage is the most important one, and the other categories were a bit of a toss-up, but it was a close fight, and I understand where the controversy cries are coming from, although at the same time, I can totally appreciate why it resulted in the way that it did.
I mean, Hijinks makes more sense for the winner because, like, it actively got rid of half of Kraken's weapon.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Either way, though.
Great fight, though. Regardless of outcome, like, really
Absolutely.
good fight.
Yeah, fantastic fight. Very, very enjoyable to watch. 8.5 out of 10 from me.
I would agree with that.
Right. Now, coming up from this, we have the Battle of the Rookies. Defender versus Riptide. And apparently Riptide has been rubbing a lot of people the wrong way.
Really?
Yes. For various reasons that I'm not going to go into here because I don't have all the facts in front of me and I'm not going to repeat hearsay. I mean, maybe I'll explain some of it to you later on, but I digress.
Okay.
Anyway, Battle of the Rookies, Defender versus Riptide. We had the Control Bot versus the Egg Beater Spinner.
What a fight!
Now,
Holy shit! What a fight!
You want to take this one because it sounds like you've got more to say than I do.
Yeah. Okay. So it starts out normally. You know, they're going at each other. fucking Defender gets onto his back and Riptide's in the corner. Then Riptide drives into the wall, does a fucking moonsault, gets sort of awkward, drives itself into the thing to try and get itself right, and then it just flies into the air. It does a it pulls off a Rob Terry. It does a 659 corkscrew shooting star splash.
You bastard! You stole my joke.
Dude, that was the collective pro wrestling board joke.
I made that joke yesterday, and I'm glad that you used it.
We made that joke 10 years ago. But yes,
yep,
that was
pulled a Rob Terry there.
That was an insane moment, and the fight just an immediate classic for me. What a fight.
But yeah, Defender showing what it can do in this fight as well, demonstrating its potential as a control bot. Riptide, after much success in their initial outing against Huge, got a bit of a check there. Got a bit of a check here. And yeah, we can only wait and see how both of them perform moving forward, but it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Good fight. 7 out of 10 from me.
I agree.
No, wait, 7.5 out of 10. Because there was a lot of there were a lot of good fun moments there in this one.
I was sports entertained.
Oh yes. And with that, we come to the main event of the evening.
One of the best. One of the actual best.
Yes, now this was an absolutely fantastic fight. Hypershock versus Lockjaw, and oh boy, so much stuff to talk about in this fight. Just one of those rare perfect fights that's everything you want, much like the opening fight was.
Yeah, the build up was perfect. The fight was perfect. The aftermath was perfect. It was 10 out of 10. I'm just gonna say it right now, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it felt like a legitimate pro wrestling main event. There was a lot of tension going into this one. They really did a great job spotlighting both teams. It felt, like I said, it felt like an actual pro wrestling promo and main event. And you just knew right away this was going to be an absolutely fantastic driving matchup as well, because both Hypershock and Lockjaw, fantastically driven machines, always a pleasure to watch. And it was going to be interesting in that regard, because we were seeing Lockjaw's 4-wheel drive setup versus Hypershock's car steering type of setup as well.
It was the young versus the old.
Yeah, and that was the thing. They did a great job spotlighting the fact that Will Bales actually grew up watching Donald Hudson as well, because Donald Hudson, he is basically the old soldier in regards to Battlebots. He's been around for over 20 years at this point, and he continues to remain incredibly competitive because he's a 2-time giant nut winner from the past as well. So, yeah. Not to mention having won the Desperado tournament in the past as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so we got some great spotlights going into that, and a brilliant tactical outing from both of these two. Both of them ripping pieces off of each other, both of them losing wheels to each other throughout the fight. Big hit after big hit, great driving, fantastic tactics. But eventually Hypershock does manage to assert itself, lands a few big hits, and manages to, in what is something I'm always happy to see, spin Lockjaw out of the arena.
What a beautiful ending to that fight. That was...
Oh, absolutely.
I'm trying to think of the words, like... That was one of the best actual finishes I think I've ever seen, because, like, it was set up so perfectly.
You know what the thing is, though? The people at Battlebots have gone out of their way to try and remove out of the arenas as a possibility in the fights. Like, that's part of why the shelf was implemented.
True.
And both Hydra and Hypershock have managed to, score out of the arena flips on opponents into the one location that they can't prevent that from happening at this point.
In back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, basically.
Like, honestly, I don't mind it. I don't mind a change if, like, that's still an option, because it kind of makes it more special, I guess.
Yeah. And it's like I personally like out of the arena flips.
Yeah, same.
But here and there you get the odd person growing like, oh, it ruins the drama and everything. It was such a good fight up until that happened, and I hate it. And it's like, shut up. Are you gonna take all of the hazards out of the box next?
Right? I mean, I wouldn't mind the screws getting. I'm not the screws. The swords getting taken out because that is kind of like a buzzkill when like something gets stuck in there.
I mean, I understand like when they get stuck in there.
Yeah.
I digress. Anyway, but yeah, fantastic fight, brilliantly executed plan from Will Bales as well, and I loved after the fact as well in the post-fight interview where he highlighted his fandom of Donald Hudson, how he grew up watching the guy, and how he was so glad to finally be able to get to fight him and to be able to win as well.
Yeah.
And also humble in victory as well, because like he said, he felt that his win here was a fluke. Because Donald Hudson is not a guy you ever underestimate. Donald Hudson is a legend in the sport for a reason.
Yeah.
Also, great jobs with spotlighting Hudson's previous history with stuff like Tazbot and Dissector. Fantastic. And yeah, just fantastic main event. I was so happy to watch it. It was everything that I could have wanted. 10 out of 10.
Oh, hell yes. I know we were saying before, like, how it'd be great if Minotaur ended up winning the finals, but, like, I also actively want Will Bales to win. I want Hypershock to win this season, because, like...
I too would love Hypershock to go all the way.
Because, like, he has such an interesting personality. Like, he's... what's the best word to use here? Like... Oh, God.
Depends what you mean, doesn't it?
Wait, what's that?
Depends what you mean.
Like, God, I'm trying to think what I mean. Like, it's sort of like he's a showboat, but, like, not in a bad way.
He's a showman.
Showman! That's the best word. He's a showman, and I want to see, like, how he would react to, like, winning.
What you need to do now, you need to Photoshop the Greatest Showman poster and put Will Bales' face on it.
Oh my, yeah. I mean, like, there's plenty of fucking like the still images of the of that cutout that like that's floating around. So yeah, I can easily do that.
But yeah, such a fantastic main event and a great way to end the episode. This was just a great episode, an absolute joy to watch. Wholesome. Some great moments in this one, just everything I could have wanted.
Yeah, this episode had everything. It was fantastic. And now it's on to the awards.
Ah, yes. Finally, we can come to the awards ceremony for the week. And this time we're not going to this time we didn't jump the gun and preemptively give the awards, so now we can actually properly assess the awards.
Yes. And this time, the main event won pretty much every award.
Pretty much, yeah. The main event this time dominates the awards this week, as Best Driver quite handily goes to Hypershock. Although, that being said, there was some big competition from Victor Soto and Rotator this week.
Exactly, yeah. Like,
and Donald Hudson himself as well would have been a third place driver for this week as well.
True.
Now, Dark Horse Victory of the Week again goes to Hypershock, because Hypershock we love, we always believe in its potential, but unfortunately its record kind of speaks for itself, and considering they were up against a legend in Donald Hudson, who was never somebody that you underestimate, yeah, this one, big Dark Horse victory here.
Yeah, Hijinks was the other contender for this, but like, I think the like the scale of Hypershock's win like outweighs Hijinks, like sort of clawing away at the victory.
Absolutely. Much as we love Kraken, yeah, it's beating Kraken is not quite the same as beating Lockjaw.
Yeah.
For now, at least. Give it time.
Yeah, true.
Because in this house, we love Kraken.
Of course.
Right. Let's see. Best performance in a losing effort. We settled on essentially a tie between Kraken and Black Dragon, didn't we?
We did, yes.
Yeah, this was one that it was entirely too close to call between the two of them. So yeah, we just had to split the difference in the joint Spike Dudley award there between Kraken and Black Dragon.
I mean, Spike Dudley's the underdog, no, not the loser.
I mean, well, at the same time, he,
I mean, yeah,
would
true.
really shine from getting his ass kicked as well.
Yeah, true, I guess.
Alright, let's see. The only remaining ones are KO of the night and Fight of the night, and they both go to the main event as well.
Yeah. I mean,
Hypershock spinning Lockjaw out of the arena is an absolutely fantastic KO moment, and the fight itself was everything that we could have wanted.
yes, indeed. I don't really have anything to add, but yeah, like,
I hope I didn't steal your thunder there, buddy.
no, not really. I'm eating a grape, so yeah. Yeah, no,
Right,
what a fucking star.
Oh yeah, excellent episode. One we were very happy to watch, and it really is just such a good time to be a Robot Combat fan, my friend.
Yeah, like, the season is starting to pick up like big now, and I hope next week's episode is just as big.
Yeah, I think it's from here on in we're going to be seeing a lot more of the tournament implications as well.
Yeah, because we're starting to get into like the third victory type, third victory fights and all that. So yeah, like we're definitely gonna see some big upsets, I think, coming forward.
Oh yeah, I'm very interested to see where it goes from here.
Yeah.
But yeah, fingers crossed that all of our favorites make it into the tournament,
Of course.
and see if we can get some redemption for the 0-2 bots so far.
Hopefully.
Right. Okay, so with that, we are finished talking about the episode. Do we have anything off topic that we wanted to talk about this week?
I don't know. Did you want to talk about the Book of Boba Fett?
Yes. Okay, so the Book of Boba Fett came to an end a few days ago with an absolutely fantastic finale, and overall, I very much enjoyed the Book of Boba Fett as a series. I've been seeing a mixture of criticism in with all of the praise. Some of the stuff about pacing and things like that, and I can understand where some of it is coming from, but personally, I absolutely love the show, and I'm very, very glad to have watched it. I'd still say the second episode was probably my favorite episode, although the finale was absolutely fantastic, and so if it's not episode 2, it's episode 7.
Yeah, true.
And yeah, I'm very hyped to see where the Star Wars cinematic universe goes from here.
Yeah.
Because I've always been a huge Star Wars fan, but if I'm being totally honest, the thing with Star Wars, the movies are the least interesting part of the franchise to me.
I agree with that. I very much agree with that.
Like, especially nowadays, but the expanded universe is absolutely worth every bit of time.
Yeah.
There are so many great things going on in the expanded universe, and it's absolutely worth checking it out. Like, I absolutely adored the Clone Wars, for example, when I was able to get around to watching it, and I actually felt bad for putting it off for so long because it was so nuanced.
Yeah, I need to get back to that myself.
So many great things going on in it. Ah, yes, you're actually very far behind me on that.
I am. I'm only at like the end of the first season.
Oh, dude, trust me, it only gets better from here.
As you say.
Yeah,
also the games are fucking great.
It really finds its feet after the first season. The first season is actually a little bit rough in terms of quality. It's good, but it's not amazing like the rest of the show turns out to be, especially in the later seasons.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, trust me, there's so much good stuff to look forward to.
Nice.
All right. Did we have anything else that we wanted to talk about?
Not really.
Right.
Unless you want to hear me talk about Exapan for like 10 minutes. Because I keep listening to goddamn Art of Life. I kept listening to it like in a row, like multiple times in a row, and that's like that's a half-hour song.
Wow.
It's a fucking amazing song.
Fair enough.
Like, God, fucking Exapan's such a good band. Like, I just love the music.
Yeah, fair enough.
How much have you listened to much of them, or?
No, I have not. I've been meaning to for a while, but I don't know any of their songs, so.
Like, there's a lot of them on Spotify. You can find Art of Life on YouTube. I'll actually link it to you afterwards.
Right, fair enough.
But
Okay,
yeah, like
well,
I highly recommend listening to them. They are amazing. Yeah, that's the
alright,
episode.
fair enough. Alright, cool. Well, on that note, this is a good place to end it for the week. We hope to see our ever minute listener base back again next week. Fingers crossed that we haven't driven what few of you there are away,
I mean,
but
it's
you
actually
can
pretty
never
stable.
tell in this climate that we live in.
It's actually stable.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, we've got a stable listener base now. So hooray!
Yes. There are literal tens of people who listen to us.
Like it's like a good 40. If you're part of 40, I love you.
Yep, and I also appreciate you. And on that note, I've just driven them all away. Okay,
Wow.
so I'm just gonna shut
Wow.
up for the week.
They do not like your appreciation.
And now I will shut up for a week. So until next time, I'm Jack, he's Mac. We love you all. Good night.
Bye.